Welcome to another episode of the Matter podcast. It's a platform we decided to create out of Matter to help women get a little bit personal and help in personal development as we sojourn in this whole tribe of called womanhood. Anyway, today on the show we have the beautiful Mrs. Simidele Ogunaike. She's a life coach, she's a marriage counselor, and of course, she is a business coach too. She does everything all together. But we call her in matter Auntie Simi. So, Auntie Simi, it's good to have
Hello,
you.
nice to be here.
Welcome
Thank
to
you
Matter
very much.
Podcast.
Thank
It's
you
so
very
good to
much.
have
It's
you.
a pleasure.
You know, you are number one person when it comes to marriage working for women, especially for career and business women.
Okay.
You're the prototype. You're the one we see and we say, oh, she makes it work. We can do it too.
Yeah.
So 30 years, you've been married for 30 years.
Yes.
And at a point you were a banker.
Yes.
And then you left the banking sector and you started up on your own. Yes,
Here
being
and there.
independent, running different coaching businesses and all of
Yeah.
that. What is the secret to keeping that 30 years marriage?
To keeping the 30 years marriage, I think, well, what would the first thing be is that I know who I am as a person.
Okay,
I haven't lost myself in the
Okay.
process of being
married.
married. So I recognize who I am. I recognize my strengths. I know what I bring to the table as far as my marriage is concerned. It doesn't have to be anything big or small. I mean, we are all graced differently. We were all created
Sure.
by God, and there's something God put in us. And whatever that thing is, it's what you have brought into the marriage, and you need to own it. Don't shy away from it. So it's like if the conversation comes up in your marriage and you recognize that you are the one who has what it is to bring something, because marriage is like a business anyway, so it's partnership, and in partnership everybody understands what they're bringing to the table, and that will determine the returns they get. So be sure about what you bring to the table as a woman, even if you're just a sit-at-home mom. If you can bring that to the table and make sure that you do it
So,
well.
what does a sit-at-home mom bring to the table?
Think about it. If she wasn't there, and think about it. We don't think of the eventuality of death, but when that woman dies and someone has to take care of the kids, is somebody not going to do that? So you brought something, the care, planning meals. I was talking to my son the other day. He's in school, and he says, "Mom, nobody told me that figuring out what to eat was that stressful." So he calls me from school and says, "Mom, I'm tired. I don't know what to eat." A mom does that. You bring that to the table. You go to the market. You check what is good for the family. You bring so much more to the table. I listened to a lady on Instagram recently, and she quantified her job as a stay-at-home mom. And so she says her day as a mom starts at so time. Before that time, she has her own self-care time. So please, stay-at-home moms, you're doing a lot. Now, you might not. Now, you see, if you don't believe you're bringing much to the table, nobody's going to appreciate you for what you don't even believe you brought to the table.
Okay.
So
Mindset.
that's why I said the first thing is that in that marriage, what are you bringing? So own it and celebrate it.
Regardless of how small you think it is, own it.
I tell you, it's actually a lot more than we think it is. We think it's small. The miniature stay-at-home mom, there's a bigger expectation of how everything should be organized.
Perfect.
That comes at a cost. That's what an event planner plans. Event planner, you plan to make sure everything is okay.
And they get paid.
You are the event planner of your home. And the earlier we begin to wake up to the reality that we actually are bringing. So when you say, like, you remember you talked about work-life balance, and I asked myself, work. And then maybe the stay-at-home mom thinks that she's not part of the equation. And that's wrong. Because if she's, as long as she does it well, learns how to make sure that, a child goes down with the flu, and you know how to figure out, maybe let's not do the regular stuff. Let's do some ginger here, some lime there. You bring it. They said a mother is a pharmacist, she's a doctor, she's this, she's that. You're bringing plenty.
Yeah.
You're bringing plenty
So much
to the table. Looking at the children, make sure they look well. Maybe there's this career path that they say dressers. What do you call that career? Where's everybody? Wardrobe manager.
Yes.
She's a wardrobe manager.
Yes.
You show up.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Style
an
people
event.
up.
There's an
Yes.
event for the family, and you're saying, "Oh, let's do this color. Let's wear. Oh, I
You
choose
book
this."
photographer, you
You
book
do that,
everything.
and you tell me you're not working. You're working.
So stay at home moms,
Mom,
you're doing
please,
amazing.
so please, let's all come to the table.
Together.
We are
Yeah.
all working.
Okay.
Whatever it is. If you
Okay.
go out there and you're doing a pay job, you're working. If you stay back at home, you're doing a pay job. And if you're doing both, then you're a superwoman.
So how does a woman who's doing all of this, she gets overwhelmed with all of this things she's doing? How does the same woman remain or look as good and sexy as she's supposed to look for a husband? How do you balance the two?
So, in life, we need to learn to prioritize.
Okay.
Okay, you need to learn to. So you have to sit down with yourself and say what exactly, what are the different roles I need to fulfill,
Okay.
and then you prioritize.
Yeah.
So you now know. So you have to. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of thinking through it, and it's a lot of looking at yourself and saying what really even matters to you. And then especially when it now comes to marriage, having the right conversations. Please don't expect too much from me. I mean, I listened to a lady and she says, we come home and everybody says, how much do you have today? I have only 50 to give today. And so the guy has to bring in
50 to balance up.
to balance it up. Another day says, I'm 0. So you see, the power to be able to communicate and set those expectations. I know we live in the different societies have set different expectations, but we need to continue to work at it. We chip at it little by little until the other side understands that, look, okay, I recognize who I am. I recognize what I need. I recognize so many things. And this is what you need to do for us together. Because my Bible, I read the Bible and it says the two have a better reward. So when two people come together in a partnership and understand what they all bring to the table, and then, so because this one that is saying I must be looking sexy, what of the guy? He should look 6-pack too now.
Nobody talks about that.
Yeah, so let's
the man
talk
has a
about
pot belly
it.
and we're fine
Yes,
with that.
yes.
Nobody talks about that.
Because maybe, I don't know whether, so there's a lot of deep mindsets that we have imbibed. And over time, I think we need to start unraveling the package and readdressing. We're in the 21st century. Technology has changed. Our marriages can't be the same way they were when our mothers were married. If the way we do things, today we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Before we'll have to maybe sit in one television house.
Radio station, television station.
Now, and then you're just going to put it on air. So the world has changed. And so our marriages, the functionality of our marriages also will change. And so how we operate, everybody knows what they're bringing to the table, and how everybody's going to deploy what they have brought to the table, and how it will work for both of them, for the children who are also involved. We should have those discussions. Let's be bold to have those discussions. Let's not shy away from the hard discussion, because we're waking up to realize that there's so much more that we can do. Because you're not talking about, I have to be sexy. He man has to have 6 packs for me.
But he goes out to get money. He goes out to work for the family.
She also works too now.
She works at home. Okay.
Wherever.
Okay.
She's selling online.
Okay.
Do you know nobody has ever quantified the small inputs?
Don't remember.
You know, guys do the big, okay, buy a television, buy the hardware.
Yeah.
Those soft things. Or making sure there are so many small details to the family finance. So family finance is a whole different issue. Now, depending on what you bring, like I just said, a housewife is bringing something. If you pay her, she too, she will have plenty to bring. And reduce the amount that you are doing shakara on top. Yes, because if you pay, because I am making sure that these kids are well, that everybody's eating well, that the house smells well, that, all the fresheners you buy, the air freshener, the turari, they're small, they look like small expenses. When you sit down and add, they add up. You are bringing something to the table, plenty things. And if the fact that something was not paid for, maybe you did it because you do
yourself.
DIY, does not mean it doesn't have a cost involved. So let's start putting cost to all those small details. And then we'll now see that it's not because you have gone out. And somehow, the person who goes out enjoys more. Who doesn't want to go out, catch some fresh air, meet with people, interact with people? So you should pay for my inconvenience allowance of sitting
stay
at
at
home.
home.
Yes. No, I'm just. I hope I haven't disrupted this conversation.
Yes, I understand what you're
But what
saying.
I'm trying to say, in essence, is that
Every woman has something she brings.
she
She has
brings.
something
Then prioritize what matters
to you as a woman.
because for some people, what they want is simple, and some people have bigger expectations. Now have those conversations, because so that there's no conflict, you want to make sure that everybody understands that, look, this is what matters to me.
Okay, so I hear this. It's interesting having you talk about what women bring to the table
Yeah.
every time. A lot of time I see questions like this, and I really do not have the good answer for it. But hearing you talk about it today, I have a better picture of what a woman brings to the table.
Yeah.
But your contents, you're speaking in the context of a married woman. So a
Okay.
single woman in a relationship, when asked, what do you bring to the table? What's she supposed to say?
Okay, so let me take it a little bit back and ask you, what relationship? See, so if we're in a partnership, so if
Yeah.
I'm doing a business and we are writing out an agreement,
Yeah.
we understand what this relationship
Agreement is about, yeah.
So I'm thinking, if we're friends in a relationship, then friends, what do friends bring to the table? They bring support, they bring the ability to like banter and whatever, time to hang out. That is what. If you are planning to get married,
yeah.
then it's a different question.
Okay.
Then at that time, I'll tell you, the first thing you want to even figure out is who are the people at the table. So I'm sure I've scattered the table again. Who are the people at the table?
Who is the man himself
Yes.
too on
Do
the
you
table?
know yourself? So
Okay.
so this is not relationship. Because a relationship, we can't be talking of what you bring to the table until I understand where we are going.
But the woman brings love, she brings support, she brings her
you,
prayers, she brings...
wait, I can't be praying until I know where we are going. So I know how to pray.
Ah.
So I will not sit down here for 4 years and be giving you love and giving you prayer, and then we are not sure where we are going. Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so-
unfortunately, I can't afford. So if it's just friendship, in a friendship, I don't bring love. I bring friendship.
You bring friendship and it ends there.
Yeah, I bring friendship. I don't owe anything. Oh, let's go out together. Can we do Dutch? Do you pay? I'm taking you out. Will I pay? You don't pay. That's a different. Are you planning to marry me? Are we going down the line? What's the timeline? You said goals. Be clear-minded in this life. Don't waste time.
But what about when the men don't want the answer? You ask, so we getting married?
And then
they
I
don't
will
answer.
get up and go. Because if he really wants me, he will come after me. We need to be bold to walk away from what does not
I think the
level
fear
out.
of uncertainty is the reason why we stay.
I agree. But the thing I feared most has happened to me. That thing that it will not happen. It will now not happen. Rather say, look, let's have. That's why whether it's in the marriage or in developing these relationships, hard conversations must be had at the beginning. It is not when you are inside a relationship you now say, I now want to sit down. You are inside. You are committed. Where I come from, where God does not like divorce. So you are not committed. So you are under guilt if you say you are walking away because it's now not working. So that is why before you enter, have those hard conversations.
What are the conversations? What are the hard conversations?
Where are you coming from? Who are you really? What has life thrown at you? How would you react in different things? In business, we'll do a SWOT analysis. Your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities and the threats. Do that have those conversations. Do that SWOT analysis. You might not call it SWOT analysis, but talk around those things. What's your strength? What has life given you, and what has life taken from you? So that I know who I am dealing with, and that will make me decide whether it's. Then I will now, and I also should know what my strengths are.
Self-evaluation.
Yes, so everybody evaluate. What's the opportunities that will come out of us working together? What opportunities do even me as an individual bring to the table? Oh, I'm working right now. I have a very good job. The opportunities that, maybe we'll have there's financial ease. There's an opportunity there. Oh, I thought of it. I remember there was somebody and I said, so I like also in relationship, one thing I like to do is understanding your temperament. I tell you, for me, relationship, understanding temperament is the biggest thing that can help you. When a phleg man marries a choleric woman, please, that is what will happen. Phlegs always attract
Choleric.
cholerics. And so basically those two. And then you either have a second one, you're either a phleg male or you're phleg sang or your choleric sang, choleric male. There's a mix of all that. But I tell you the truth, understanding that sets the tone for what I expect. If I'm a choleric lady, I know that I'm already a go-getter. Phleg men need a very solid job. Very solid job. And your prayer point will be that he will never lose that job. Because if he loses his job, he doesn't have the will to fight to get another job. Except God. So that's why you will pray that he's either going from one good job to another good job. He should. But if he meets a setback, every good morning that the choleric says to that man is telling him, lazy man, get up, go and make money. And instead of it firing him, it makes him feel less of who he is. He doesn't have that fighting spirit. So the best combination. So when you see choleric, if you know you're a choleric woman, you need to understand to now subject your choleric nature to kindness.
All right, so let's quickly talk about women in marriage. How can you prioritize all things? You know, the kids, the marriage, your self-care, your career, your business. What do you do to make all of this balance? You've done it for 30 years. So what can other women do to enjoy same balance?
Okay, so balance. So yes, we want balance, but also understand that it doesn't always quite balance.
It's not really that balance.
It doesn't always quite balance. So first accept the fact that sometimes it gets tilted.
You win some, you lose some.
Accept that so that you don't stress out on the fact that
I'm not getting this.
I'm not getting it. Then you now sit down with yourself and say, okay, what is at this particular time, what's the most important thing that I should focus on? What can I delegate?
Delegation.
What can I delegate? What kind of support do I have around me that I can work
system.
with?
Okay.
What support system? What are the things that, so I think your relationship with your husband, you can't delegate.
Mm-hmm. True.
At the same time, you are a person and you have your own needs. Does he even understand what your needs are? So that you want to prioritize making sure those conversations are had, where it's like, okay, this is what you want, but this is also what I need.
Okay.
Not just what sometimes it's not even about what I want, it's about what I really need.
Like really true necessities that make me function well.
I really need you to celebrate me, to celebrate what I'm achieving, to acknowledge the effort I'm putting in.
Can that be a problem?
Yes.
When a man don't celebrate, it's a problem. Okay.
Do you know, acknowledging that, thank you for all you bring to the table?
Men don't say that.
Some are learning to, and I hope a lot more men do. Like I'm saying, you're a housewife. Celebrate her. Thanks for me. Always, I mean, maybe you go out and they tell you that the kids were so well behaved today. Remember, it was somebody that had sat down with those kids. So you don't go to that PTA meeting feeling like a peacock. Remember that there was somebody at home that sat down, that prayed with those children, spoke with them, corrected them, did whatever they could to make them show up looking good, behaving nice. Acknowledge it. It makes, so you see, there's so much we can do for, it's not in big things. It's not, okay, if I'm someone who likes a good holiday and you don't generally have it, the least you can do is say, look, babe, I know you're working hard, but right now I can't do that. And also be man enough to say, sorry, I can't do it right now, but I know you deserve it. Do you know that alone? That acknowledgement, just that acknowledgement. It's not hard. And I'm not, because life, that's why I said, life is not, we're trying to balance it. It never really quite balances because we live in a world, the dollar went haywire, petrol went this direction. And I know the men are going through a lot. I mean, I was listening. As much as women are going through their own emotional pain, men are, I think men have even more emotional problems because they can't even cry. They say men can't cry. Please, men should start crying. It's better that they cry.
They're just bottling everything.
Because that bottling up is also results in them now becoming aggressive. Sometimes the flip of you not being able to say what you say, to express yourself, is that you can now like say something offhand
out of line.
Because, and you've said it, and you know words are eggs. You could have said something so damaging, but it's not that you really meant it. So men should try and cry rather than spew it out on us. Yeah, truly, they should try and cry. So talking about balance, one, you have to understand what phase of life
You're
in.
in.
The kids are young, the kids are growing up, they can do things. Prioritize making sure that the kids can handle themselves so that you too, you can have some peace of mind for yourself. Tell yourself when you should say no. Prioritize, learn how to say no. You can't do everything. Remember, you're not. Yes, they say we wear capes, but we're not that super human being. We're still human. We're flesh and blood. We need downtime.
Machines break down. Of
Yeah,
course, we
yeah. They
break
need
down.
maintenance. They need maintenance. And prioritize. You need to prioritize sleep. Especially, I think about breastfeeding mothers who have to. We do a lot of breastfeeding on demand.
Yeah.
It's stressful. When you're in that phase of your life, you need to prioritize some time where you just like be able to like have a moment. So that at that point, you want to delegate. Trust that it's call out for help if you need help. Sometimes we might not be able to pay for the help, but let's hope that you have somebody who could be there. Maybe the kids are a little older, and then you smartly find how you can like, okay, I'm going to shut down for 10 minutes or 30 minutes. In fact, I saw a joke that someone needed to catch a sleep, and he told his kids that, okay, this is my pose, I'm sleeping. Oh yeah, all of you should
To
now
draw.
to draw me. It was a smart way of getting just the
The
nap.
children busy.
Yeah.
Also.
So prioritize what is important. Prioritize money making. Poverty is not sweet on any in one of the problems why we are all stressed out is because there's no money. When there's money, money makes these things easy.
Easier.
So prioritize that. How do I make money?
All right.
I don't know if you heard about I think they talked about Ikigai in the last
Yes.
yeah. If you remember the four components of Ikigai, the last one, the rules, they said you find something that will make money.
Yes.
Money is still very important.
So you're saying money is important. Money, love, which is important in a marriage.
Money,
Love.
love will always be the binding factor because love can conquer mountains.
But money.
Genuine love.
Money.
But money makes it worthwhile.
Worthwhile. All right. Thank you very much. It's been a lovely conversation with Auntie Simi, and I'm very sure we've learned a few things today that we'll get to work on. And for me, I did learn the delegation part, and I think it is important. Women, learn to ask for help when you need one. We'll see you some other time. Auntie Simi, thank you for coming
you
on
very
today.
much. It was nice.
Until we meet again, have a lovely day.
All right. Bye. Thank you.